Hi, welcome to the small shed. This Saturday we've got to sort out some watering in the greenhouse. See you in a minute. Every year when we go away we run into problems with watering plants. In the past we've asked neighbours to do it and it doesn't get done necessarily as we would want it to, and we come back and find things are either drowned or dead. Last year I think we just put everything out in the garden and put the hose on it with a timer, and that was reasonably okay, I think. And this year my wife had said up until middle of last week that she didn't want to put any watering out because the weather hasn't been that good here. And then yesterday she said, oh, I do want to set the watering up, so I thought no problem, I'll put the hose on like we did before. I was just chatting with her and mentioned taking the stuff out of the greenhouse, and she looked at me as if I was mad, which, as I say, we'd done last year. And she says no, I'd like to keep the stuff in the greenhouse, so I've got to sort out some new watering for within the greenhouse. Now, I've done this in the past with kits and I've got some bits and pieces left from those kits, but over time they get brittle, the plastics get brittle and that sort of thing, so I've not really got anything to start with. So I'm going to have a quick look in the greenhouse, see what I've got to deal with, and then go off and see if I can get myself some sort of a kit that'll do most of the work for me. Right, so here we are. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 tomato plants, some cucumbers and some other sundry odd plants that all are going to need a bit of water. So I think I'm going to need something to deal with, certainly the tomato plants if I can individually. The others can just be done into a tray, it doesn't matter if it fills the tray up a bit. We don't want to get too much water in here. Just been up to the local garden centre and relieved myself of about 50 quid, which is more than I expected or wanted to pay, but needs must when you're 2 days off going away. We've got the Hozelock 15 pot watering kit. And again, there's more in this than I really need, I think, but on the other hand I couldn't find some of the things I did need on the individual bits, so I bought the whole kit. What we get in the kit is a timer, which I've already got 2 of those, so that is something. These are mechanical timers. I don't quite know what I've got to do with it, but we'll get on to that one in a minute. So that is probably not going to be a lot of use to me, but the problem was I couldn't buy the reducer that I needed separately. They hadn't got it in stock, so this is really set up so that you can just turn it on and it'll water the plants, and then next day you need to do it again. I have got some battery ones which will run, but this was the thing I needed, which is a pressure reducer which takes you from there to the hose and then the individual fittings which will fit in the unit itself, in the greenhouse itself. Now, having got that, I've got to get from the hose pipe in the garden. The tap in the garden is a long way away. This assumes you're just straight underneath. So I've bought this adapter as well, so that I can put a hose pipe in between the garden, greenhouse and the actual tap. We should be able to come off the tap in the garden with that fitting, with a standard hose connector on it, which will go up a hose to the garden, to the greenhouse, to this other fitting I've just bought, which has got the other end, but it's also got that fitting there which will screw onto my reducer, which is what I needed. So that's what you get in the kit. You get the timer, which as I say is alright, but that's only for manual setting it off every day. You just set it up for 20 minutes or whatever and it waters. I want something that'll come on every day at 10 o'clock in the morning for 20 minutes or something like that. So that will be something I'm not going to use. You've got the reducer, you've got the pipe, we've got 15 pegs that go into the individual tubs that have got drippers on them, and we've got a load of T-pieces to go in and connect into that pipe and into the individual sprayers. And we've got some clips, which is useful because I was expecting to have to use electrical staples. It's ideal if you've just got a tap somewhere near your greenhouse, you can just put that on, leave it to spray for however many minutes you want, and it will just do it. As I say, for our purposes I'm going to be using something a bit more high-tech that'll give me so much per day. So let's go out, take this lot out into the greenhouse, get a rough idea of where I want to put all the pegs and sprayers. These are drip ones, I think, that will just drip a certain amount out every, I think it's 4 litres a minute or something, 4 litres an hour I mean, they'll do. So you can set your timer to suit from that. And we'll roughly set out where we want the spikes, and then we can put the hose in to suit and put all the adapters and connectors in from there. So let's go out into the greenhouse and have a look. So that's where I'm coming from. 2 little battery operated timers which probably want the batteries replacing. They're on a manifold and they can be set to run for every hour, every 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12, 24, 48, 72, or every week. And when you turn them on, if the batteries are still working, just opens the valve. Got the various size adapters. I'm going to start at the plant end and work my way backwards, if you like, so that each of these big pots will get a dripper in it. Just going to pop those into the soil. These things shouldn't need a huge amount of water, but obviously they don't want to dry out during the day. So that's used the majority of those up. And then we'll start work on the ones at the top, the cucumbers. And of course they'll probably get less water being up here, I don't know, with the water pressure being less, but we'll see how they work when we get them in. So next thing to do is to start and get some water piping in. I've got 15 metres I think, and we'll start and cut that to lengths and feed it around wherever we can to get a consistent run to each pipe with the little T-pieces. The pipe is cut with a normal Stanley knife. I'm going to start furthest away from the door, so that will be the last one in the run, and then I'm just going to put a length to there, put a T-piece in, and onto the spike of the dripper. They just push on, no great issue at all. First one done. And then what the troubles you get with the greenhouse, of course, is that you get full of butterflies, but let's try and get this one out. I'd rather he didn't fry in here. That's it. Let's take him outside. I think there should be plenty of the smaller pipe to cope with this, because if you've got 15 metres, that's an average of 1 metre per pot, and I'm probably only using a couple of 100 mil on these, so there's plenty of room to get it round, I think, in the greenhouse. Now, to connect the spikes or the connectors, you essentially just take the shaped piece, push it in, and that gives you a nice tight fit because it locks, so it wouldn't pull out then. And on the spike end, same thing. There's a dripper feeder on that side and a connector there that you just push it on. It's easy as that. And then if I need to retain the pipe at any point, some little clips that are like the little electrical clips you get for conduit and cable, that just goes over the pipe and taps into the staging. That's the basic installation done. So then to sort of terminate the situation, you've got your input there, which will be another length of this pipe. I've got three adapters. One is for the larger pipe, which I used to have into the greenhouse there. I'm not using that one. We've got a single or a double pipe adapter, so I could put 2 outlets with the amount of hose I've got left to go to somewhere else. Beauty of the system is that if you find you need an extra feed in, you can just cut the pipe to suit and drop your T piece in, and it's sorted straight away. And similarly, if you find you've got a junction too many, you can just put a straight joiner in instead of the T-piece and join the pipe back together. I'm just going to go with a straightforward single tap connector to start with and see if I need to do anything else, but I think that should be enough. And there we are, running. This bit of a leak outside to deal with, but we'll worry about that one in a minute or two. But the drippers are all going nicely. That's the spray ones. I might put some more of those in. But the ones at the top are also dripping nicely. So I think we're okay for water pressure. That one's not going. That's the head of the run, so I'll have a look at that one and check whether it's just a blockage. I've just been in having a spot of lunch, and I've just realised that because there's no water coming out of that one, which may or may not be a blockage, I'll worry about that in a minute. But I'm probably not thinking about this the right way round. The ideal solution, I think, might be to put the water coming in at that point and then let gravity do the work, rather than try and push it in at the bottom to try and push it uphill through those pipes. So I'm just going to alter the pipe layout so that I've got an input here rather than down the bottom, and we'll terminate it down the bottom and see if it makes any difference. Right, so that's got that all back together. Let's go and turn it on again and see what happens this time when we put the water pressure on from the top. And that's all dripping out nicely in the top one, all the way along there. And indeed it's one of the bottom ones that's less enthusiastic now. So it's certainly, yeah, I've got the same issue, I think, that by the time you get to the end of the run, You're getting very little water coming out in some of the ones down the far end, even with gravity helping, and that's probably just the amount of flow that we need. There is a way of calculating it. These are fine here. What I'm going to try, I think, now is just to split this and put the double outlet on it, connect it to that and see what happens. The chances are we're going to get much more water out of there than we are out of there, so we've got enough to feed 2 of these outlets, and hopefully that will solve the problem. There's probably no need to actually split the feed. I think I'll just feed it from both ends and see what happens, and that solved the problem. We've got feed coming out now in both of those. Right, so I'm happy with that. We've got a watering system installed that's giving pretty much the same amount of water to everything. I've just got to assess over the next couple of days how long it's got to be on for, which isn't long. I'll have to dry the troughs out first because we've thrown a lot of water around today, and once they're empty we can get a rough idea on how long it takes just to get it to sort of get the soil wet. Right, that's it. The system's in and it's working well. Happy with that, and it's taken, well, in essence less than half. It's probably been about half a day at most to have put that in, and that includes going and getting it. So it's a simple enough system to use, works well, and for once I'm happy to be working with water. So I hope the video is of interest. Look forward to seeing you next time. We'll be doing something different. See you then. Bye.